So recently, I just took a trip out to Hawaii, just got back a couple days ago, and we got to witness episode 28. So this eruption has been ongoing since last December, and recently the Fountain Heights have been getting increasingly bigger, and we've been timing out some of these and trying to predict these eruptive events. We've been doing a pretty good job here over the last few months. So we went out there, tested our luck. We got there on the evening of Monday and very early Wednesday morning, about 4:15 a.m. This volcano erupted again. We got there. We're walking up here on the 360 camera. It was about 5:20 a.m. So we were treated to this exceptional event. I mean, it's just breathtaking. A large fountain there, watching the sun rise and come down Mauna Loa. And we were able to see some hybrid landspout activity here. There's so much heat rising and forming these cumulus clouds above the volcano and the lava out there that it just made a spectacular show. So I'm going to go ahead and go over some of that. Well, I'll tell you how you can predict it. If you want to plan a trip on your own, you can do that. I'll put some music on here and try to capture some of the best scenes that I got during the trip. And I'll show you some of the impressive hybrid landspout activity that we did witness. But yeah, fun time out there. So let's dive into things, shall we? So you want to head out to the Big Island and you want to witness one of these huge fountaining events. So what steps do you take to do so? Well, first things first, you go to the USGS and you check out their daily updates. This one just updated July 15th, and you can see this is for Kilauea, and the next episode scheduled to start July 17th through the 20th. So if you leave today or tomorrow, 15th, 16th, probably even the 17th, you'd have a really good chance to see the next huge fountaining episode. Life-changing stuff. Excellent show. I mean, you just can't beat it. One of the greatest shows on earth. And I'm going to share some of my footage here with some music, and we'll talk about what happened there in a moment. But also, I want to talk about the data in a little bit more detail. So you can see they do this electronic tilt at the Kilauea Summit. So they have 2 days, they have a week, they have a month, they have 3 months, and they have the past 5 years. So first things first, I like to look at the past week, because when you see this big downward trend in that electronic tilt at the Kilauea Summit, that is when the last fountaining episode occurred. That's the one that I witnessed right there. And as soon as the fountaining stops, it starts to reinflate there. And you can kind of see it's getting back to the point where it started fountain last time. So you've got another couple days, probably maybe 2-3 days before the next fountaining episode occurs. And this one is the past month. You can see just how reliable this eruption cycle has been. Again, the downward trend there, quickly big fountaining episodes, and then immediate reinflation there at the summit. And over the last 3 months, you can see it's varied a little bit, but still very consistent on average about every week. And these bigger cycles here have been between 8 and 9 days, generally speaking. So if you go back 5 years, the reason why this is probably going to continue on for a little bit longer, you see over the last 5 years, this inflation has been ramping up. And this is the eruption when it started in December of 2024. And ever since then, we've been getting these fountaining episodes. So until this starts to back down a little bit here, we're probably going to continue this for a while. Will it last? Will this next one be the last cycle here, and also we'll get a downtrend, or will this last for 2 months? Will it last for 5 months? Will it last another year? Nobody truly knows here, but this is a good sign that we're probably in for a few more fountaining episodes. And what else can I show you here? This is the good one also. You can see the timeline of eruptive episodes there. This is the one I was first out for in December 26th, all the way on through early portions of January. It went on for 8 days. Very fun stuff there. But the fountain generally less than 100 meters. Now look at some of the fountain heights here. Really, since the late portion of May, up over 350 meters. The one I was there for was 320, and that was spectacular enough. The biggest one so far on June 20th was an incredible 380 meters up in the air. So I'll go over some of the landspout activity that we saw here. I'll put some music to some of the best scenes, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So what we have here, as you can see, is a landspout tornado associated with the updraft from the volcanic heat. And you can also see all the nasty gases and the clouds above that tube stretches all the way down towards the ground. And so this is a similar process as to what goes on with forest fires, where when you get these fire whirls, these big ones, they are classified as doing tornadic damage. So if this were hitting structures and whatnot, indeed it would be classified as a tornado, in my opinion. So if I go ahead and click on the screen here and go forward one, I've zoomed in here a bit, and again you can kind of see how that process works. You got the heat from this volcanic activity creating that updraft, and you can see that tube connected all the way up into the base of those nasty gases and tephra, and some of that condensation that was taking place with some of this rapid updraft there. So yeah, very fun stuff. Some of these were quite dramatic as well. I mean, what a scene with the volcano to the right and these land spouts here off to the left. So I'll show you what else we got here, and then I'll finish this off with some more music. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'll do my daily briefings as normal here tomorrow, and yeah, I may head out there again there towards the end of the month. Anything that has these spin-ups here, you know how I love dust devils and I love volcanoes, so this is kind of a double whammy. So I may go out towards the end of July. I'll let you guys know on that front here, and of course, if you guys want to do it, you guys know how to forecast for these, for these volcanic events there on the Big Island. Again, once in a lifetime experience. The fountaining has not been like this for Kilauea since the mid 1980s. This has been 40 years in the making here, folks. This is not some kind of site that is always ongoing. A lot of times there's lava that will flow out into the areas or sometimes flow out to the sea, but even then, that doesn't happen all the time as well. So if you can, I highly suggest you go out there and witness one of these fountaining episodes.